What's going on, everyone? It's Updog here, and today we have my defense suggestions for Ultimate 32. Now, Ultimate 32 is coming up, as of the release of this video, it's coming up in a day from now, so Tuesday the 25th. Don't have a lot of time to contemplate your defenses, so I thought I'd give some suggestions out there for you. But let's go over the rules real quick first. It's only 3 rooms again. You do have, it looks like you do have 6 attacks as like we did last time. So every attack you drop will drop like 200 points, I believe it is, from the bonus that you get. So that is how it's going to stay, I guess. I guess they couldn't figure out how to fix that. The global rules, let's see. Not really. There's no extra like bonuses for a team or whatever, so that's fine. That's fine. I like that. Room 1, we're gonna have. So all these rooms are gonna be basically copied from season 14. So better get used to these rules, at least for these 3 rooms here, because they are going to be used in the next season coming up after this U32. So room 1. Striker characters are going to gain Safeguard. They're going to have 90% less health. They're going to get 100% extra damage, and they're going to spawn with 5 death proofs. So, a lot of stuff going on there with Strikers. It's called Glass Cannon for a reason, because of all that stuff. The Striker characters will be a lot weaker, but do more damage. They have a little bit of survivability. I kind of like the 5 death proofs and the Safeguard, so that's kind of nice. And then Fortifier characters are going to spawn with Taunt. So, like, if you put Fortifier ISO on a character, it'll be like a pre-taunt. So, that's pretty nice, too. Stage 2, or Room 2, is going to be... Let's see, on any character, all characters on the battlefield, on turn, they attack self for 15% of that character's max health. So, it's a self-inflicting hit, even before they take a turn, I believe. Although in the tournament, it felt like they did that damage after their attack, but whatever. It doesn't matter too much, I don't think, until you like start getting really, really low, and then you have to make hard decisions like, oh crap, do I do this move, or I mean, am I gonna die here, or whatever. So yeah, just every character will hurt themselves for 15% of their health, and then the other key part is that health will be removed, so they can't heal back up and regain that full health bar. So that's the deal with that. Now, I tried to in the tournament use like a dorm in this room to try to revive that character if they did die, but it looked like from when I went back and checked the footage, it looked like that those, if a character dies in this room, they can't be revived because all their health had been taken away. So that's the impression I got. You can maybe try it if you want, but I don't think that dorm trick will work in this room. And then for room 3, this is kind of interesting. It's kind of like Cosmic Ghost Rider's passive. The focus of enemy characters will be reduced by 5,000%, and the damage will be reduced by 50% until a character on defense takes their turn. So you set your defense, right? The attacking team is going to attack into you, and they're going to have all those reduced stats until your team takes a turn. So that's how that works. So let's go over the options I have put out here. Now there's going to be 3 options. There's going to be a turtle option, a balanced option, and then a more offensive heavy option. We're going to start off with the turtle option, and as you can see here in room 1, we have the Odin, Illuminati, and Black Knight. Now this is the room with the Strikers and Fortifier special effects going on. So Black Knight, I always like him as a Fortifier anyway, so I'm just going to keep him as that. He's going to pre-taunt anyway. He does that anyway, so that really doesn't change anything for this room for him. But we are going to have Hank as a healer. I like him as a healer because he can do more healing, and especially on defense I do. On offense, I'll use him as a striker, but on defense, I like him as a healer. Captain Britain, I'm going to have him be a striker, so he'll be a little less tanky, but that's okay because he'll have that safeguard, he'll have the death proofs, and Hank can heal him up. And his passive also persists after death, so if and when he dies, then that anti-speed bar passive will still keep going. And then Shuri and Odin as raiders, so I think it's a decent option there. And, you know, some people ran Odin Illuminati in room 3, or the room that equated to what we're going to have for room 3. The room order was a little bit different for season 14, but the negative, or the crazy amount of resistance and the less damage seems pretty good, but the one little line in there, it says non-Mephisto enemies or characters. So one of the main counters for this team is Mephisto. So why would you put in a team in here that's benefiting Mephisto? That's the only reason why I wouldn't put them in 3. So room 2, we're gonna do Annihilators with Mephisto and Skrull. Pretty self-explanatory there. It has that. It does have the attacking self. That's the attacking self room, but I think this team is really hard to take down. So we're just gonna go with that and hope for the best, because they can burst down a team pretty quick. So that's why we're gonna go with this one. And then in room 3, we'll call it the Exposed team. They have a lot of high burst damage as well, and basically just making somebody choose between Starjammers here or Starjammers here. And yeah, so that's the whole point of that room. Alright, now for the balanced option, we're going to keep Odin Illuminati Black Knight in room 1 for this option. It's called balance for a reason, so you have some tough defenses and maybe some room to leave some characters on offense. This option leaves you with Mephisto and Skrull on offense, but we are using Phoenix Force on defense. And it's a fairly, I think it's a fairly good trade-off, for at least for a balanced approach here. So this room here, we'll just go to the Phoenix Force room. We got Omega Red Phoenix putting a taunt on Rogue automatically right off the bat. And this is the extra crazy resistance room. So I faced a team similar to this, and it was really crazy how those rules work. And so it was tough to get through. It's definitely an efficiency sink, so I think room 3 is probably the best place for them. And then we'll have the Wanda's Revenge room here in room 2. Now, Agatha's in there as well, just because she will put Scarlet Witch into stealth. She'll give extra resistance to Scarlet Witch. Morgan's there to give extra health to both Agatha and Scarlet Witch, and put the safeguard out there. So it's another efficiency sink for sure. So that is the balanced approach here. And then the full offense approach is going to be Sinister Six. Now, we do finally kind of utilize the room rules a little bit more, with Lizard being a fortifier, so he'll pre-taunt. Goblin going to be a striker, so he's going to get that extra damage. He's going to get the death proofs and the safeguard right off the bat. He doesn't really need the safeguard that much, but the death proofs and the extra damage is definitely nice for him. We're also going to do the same for Slayer. He's going to get all that stuff because he's a striker, and then we're putting in Doc and Mysterio. Now, Mysterio's there to give us some extra rewinds. If Goblin gets a turn on his ult, he'll rewind even more because there'll be some Mysterio summons out there, and those summons actually count towards the rewind amount, so it'll rewind them even more. We're going to keep Wanda's team in here, another efficiency sink, and we're going to keep that same X-Men team in here as well. So, kind of a tough defense, but still you have Odin, you have Illuminati, you have Starjammers with this option, you have Mephisto, you got crazy amount of options in this setup, but still gonna be a little bit tricky if your opponent has a super turtle defense. So there you have it. Hope that was helpful for you. Good luck at U32 figuring out what you want to do for defense, and until next time, make sure you spend those resources wisely, and we will see you around.